It was a cold and overcast start for the first practice session for the Japanese Grand Prix, with almost all teams struggling to get to grips with the demanding Suzuka circuit. Renault ran a cascade of upgrades, including a new front wing, with Carlos Sainz being the first to test the package on the yellow-rimmed soft tyres. But it was Williams who were looking for the most this weekend after a disappointing run of events at Sochi, bringing an upgraded Mercedes power plant as well as a new compound of front brakes to the Japanese circuit. Lance Stroll was the first to take to the track of the Williams runners, but with a quickly advancing Esteban Ocon on the slower white-walled medium tyres, it was clear that there was much more work needed to be done to bring this Williams into midfield contention. The weekend was off to a much better start for the young Charles Leclerc. Fresh from the announcement of his 29 deal to move to Ferrari, the Monegasque set the fastest time of the best of the rest, also whilst using the medium compound tyre, giving some indication of where the teams are looking to spend the majority of the race. Speaking of young contenders, Max Verstappen charged the P3 ahead of a Ferrari and a Mercedes, with a lap time set on the super soft tyres. The energy drink outfit showing promise in the first practice session, with Daniel Ricciardo posting up a P5 lap time. For McLaren Stoffel Van Dorn, it was the first of the last set of practice sessions in a Formula 1 car as the Belgian pushed his McLaren MCL33 to the limit. It was a different story for Ferrari, with four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel spending most of his time in the garage. He eventually headed out for some practice starts before setting the ultimate pace for the session with a P1 lap time on the super soft tyres. Current world champions Mercedes also spent the majority of their session in their pit boxes before eventually releasing their cars on yellow-walled soft tyres, setting second and fourth fastest times with Hamilton and Bottas. It wasn't just the midfield struggling with setup, as defending world champion Lewis Hamilton struggled to keep his W09 on the track. The manufacturer persisted with the soft tyre for the entire session, both drivers struggling with balance throughout the session, but with their pace being strong despite the imbalance, it could work out to be a great call yet, with Toto Wolff feeling like it's absolutely worth the risk.
You know, I just had a discussion and we don't know the pace of the red cars, and we are somehow not able to make the soft tyre come into balance for us. But the competition is good fun, and hopefully when we put the super soft, we'll be competitive.
Will that ultimately work out for Mercedes? Time will tell. But as we leave the first practice session, it's clear that almost all the teams are looking forward to less inclement weather as they go on to discover the true capabilities of their cars. Free practice 2 brought a welcome change of weather with a clear lift in the clouds and a significantly warmer track. Stoffel Van Dorn clearly gelled with his car much more than FP1, successfully bringing his McLaren into the top 10. His teammate Alonso was still finding the limits of the circuit with an uncharacteristic off-track driving through the S's. Braking issues entering Casino Triangle. And a contretemps with his teammate coming out of Degner's. There were mixed fortunes for Mercedes, with the Finn Valtteri Bottas settling in for the long run stint on the white-walled medium tyres. But not before exploring the limits of the track in the S's. Not finished exploring, the Finn also went for some pirouettes down at Degner's. Ferrari had a much stronger session with Sebastian Vettel enjoying better balance on the soft compound tyres, topping the timesheet with a 1:31.4. But it was all short-lived, as Lewis Hamilton bolted on super softs and with it took fastest lap with a lap that was riddled with errors. Clearly the Brackley team have more in the locker. How much remains to be seen. An ominous look then for the rest of the season. The Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton have one hand on the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships, or does it all still hang in the balance?